Day 72 of 281. Hello, my name is Joey. I'm currently a senior in high school, and I have 281 days before I graduate, and I want to pursue what I love most and what I can't stop thinking about, which is inspiring people to be better, my love and drive for fitness and content creation. It is currently Thursday, 5:13 p.m. We are here at the gym, going to hit back and biceps. However, I always want to incorporate a speech in every single video that I do. And today I want to talk about my faith and my faith journey with God. Let me give you a little bit of background on myself, and maybe some of you guys can actually relate to this. So I grew up in a Catholic household where, we went to church on Sundays, did our prayers, went to church on Christmas, this and that. And that's still something we occasionally do. But growing up, I really never had that relationship with God. It was sort of as if life was a formula, and I never really got to know him until a few years ago where, I had a lot of insecurities about myself, this and that, and I discovered the gym and my life was starting to come together. And I feel like there was always something missing in my life. I felt like I was always having this gap of peace in my soul that I knew in ways that my life was being fulfilled. So I prayed, and I did my prayers, this and that, and I went to church a lot, actually. I tried to find God, and I felt obligated if I didn't go, but just never had that connection, and it just never really felt right to my life of where, okay, I found God. Until more recently, that I came across a preacher that I really do respect, Joyce Myers, I'll give her a shout out, who really gave me a different mindset of how to find God. And the reason I'm saying this message is because a lot of you guys are probably in the same boat as me. You're a young high schooler, college, who just has this gap in their life, who wants to find peace. And I'm sort of going to explain it to you from an 18-year-old high school senior's perspective, so we can relate in many ways. How should I start this? So I found God by doing something that I think he has impacted me personally. I went into my room late night. I closed the door, closed off all of the, lights, this and that, and had it made very, very quiet. And I just talked to God like a human being. And that is the best advice I could give anyone who needs to discover God or Christ in their life. That is what you have to do. You have to just isolate yourself in that room and just talk to him. I have this famous quote. I don't know if I made it up. I don't know. I have no idea who even says this, but God is not a formula. God is a relationship. And what that means is that you just don't go to God on Sundays and you just pray before morning and night and you just forget about God the rest of the day or the rest of the week. You build a relationship with him. You know his commandments. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You know that you're supposed to love your neighbor and forgive your enemies. And carrying that with you all day is the most important piece of advice I can give you guys. Because as I was saying, growing up, I never had that relationship. I would forget about God the rest of the week and just go back to doing the same old. But now with God in my life, I have this vision. I have this goal in mind. I know that what I'm doing is my purpose, and it's so many great benefits to discovering God. And again, as I'm in a lot of your guys' shoes right now in terms of being, a young adult in this world, there's not a lot of God left. And it's really, really sad that people try to get rid of God and this and that, because at the end of the day, God is good, God is love. And it's so crazy how in this world full of hatred and evil, we think that God is bad. It's like, what, man? It's really, guys, you don't look at life that way. Look at life as, God is good, God is love. Follow his word. Get to know him, not just pass by him. And it's the most important piece of advice I could give. Now, I want to switch up the content today when we go into the gym. It's crazy, man. Like, God impacted me today as well. I was driving a friend home, and, just telling him about, the channel, why I started this. He was interested, and, he gave me this really important piece of advice, and he might be watching this video right now. I'm not going to say his name for privacy reasons, but you might be watching this video, and I hope you are, because you said you would. You said give a little twist on the videos, make it a little bit different, make it a little bit unique, refresh it, and this and that. So today, I'm going to be heading into the gym. I'll be putting the footage on the screen and doing an overlay on why I did that to give the video a little bit of a twist instead of me just going into the gym and putting music on, sort of explaining why I did this and that, and of course, the pump at the end of the workout. 5:18 p.m. Thursday night. Let's go ahead and crush this fucking weight. I start off with isolated lat pull downs. I feel like these are really, really good on just focusing on the lat. Now, here's my one tip regarding any movement in the gym. Make sure, guys, that you are controlling the eccentric and concentric. Make sure that when you are pulling down and letting go of that weight, that you have full control of it and that the weight doesn't have full control of you. I try to go for 10 to 12 reps before I up the weight and go for a hypertrophy. Next up, we have dumbbell shrugs. Right now, I have 50 pounds. I like to make these pretty straightforward. Hold them on the side and just let them glide down your legs and then squeeze them back up towards your neck. Pretty straightforward movement right here. One tip / one cue I would give regarding dumbbell shrugs is tend to go a little bit heavier because you could crank out 30 pounds like 20 times. So just know that. Do not ego lift it, but find a heavy but comfortable weight that you can hold and do a decent amount of reps. Next up, we do have hammer curls. I am doing 30 pounds. I am averaging around 7 to 8 reps on these, trying to hit 10 or even 12 before I move up to 35. So we're probably going to stay on 30 pounds for a long time here. Now, you guys are probably watching the screen and are seeing me how I'm currently holding on to the pole when doing these curls. The reason I am doing that is because I can have full tension on that bicep without any momentum. So you sort of just grab onto the bar and you have one in your arm, you start curling it up. Again, try to control it. I know I don't have the best eccentric or concentric with hammer curls because it is a bit heavy, but I've been hitting 25 pounds now for a while, so I had to move up in weight. So I'm still building that momentum with that. Next up, we do have a back row. Now, when doing these back rows, I try to make them as isolated as possible. You guys are probably noticing, right? I do a lot of one-handed movements, and the reason I do that is so I just get full tension on one side, and I personally feel as if I do that, I am able to develop more so of a mind-muscle connection than just doing both. So that's what I like to do here. Of course, the grips are very important. I try to grab every single thing that is comfortable in my range of motion. So I might grab the upper handles, my feet might be planted differently every time, but it's just what I feel comfortable to get that good grip. And I like to imagine myself kayaking, so pulling in and letting it go. Next up, and sort of this is my last movement before we hop into the burnouts, which I will explain. We have a mid-trap cable. I learned this from Jeff Nippard, and you practically just grab these two cables and pull them across your back. It really does develop the traps, more so the mid/shoulder ones, and you really want to go very, very light here, guys. You want to make sure that you're just pulling with the trap muscles and nothing else. Lastly, we have pull-ups. I am doing pull-ups almost consistently on my back days. I do feel as if they are a very, very underrated movement in general. So I'm cranking them out for as many as I possibly can in a comfortable range of motion here. Going up, going down, trying to control that. I have to constantly remind myself because I do forget. But realistically speaking, that is my overall back day. I do hit abs sometimes, not every single day. And that's just due to time or personal preference. Now, let me summarize my workouts for all of you so you guys can get a good gist of what I currently think about weightlifting and strength training. Do not overthink it. I'm saying that because I need to hear that myself. I really tend to overthink things, but I try to keep the overall workout within a 45-minute to even a 2-hour range. That is for leg day. Leg day can take a lot longer, but realistically speaking, 45 minutes to an hour and a half is a comfortable range for me in terms of my time. So that's what I like to do. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out.